Hello. Welcome to the first edition of Film O'Clock, and actually the first session of Q&As with a part of the creative teams behind the short films that we just watched. And also we have here the Romanian film critic Cristi Mărculescu, who will moderate the discussion, and a part of the curatorial team, Diane Weiss from South Africa, and Ioana Criona from Greece, Andrew Mosen from Egypt, and myself from Romania, Mirona Radu. I will let Cristi to introduce the film directors that joined the discussion and to start the dialogue.
Well, hello, everyone. I hope you're not nervous or way too preoccupied. This is going to be a friendly conversation. And generally with young filmmakers, the best and the most efficient way of starting a conversation is also very interesting for the audiences. And it goes like this. I would like you to present yourselves and tell us how you started this film and how you finished it. It's a story about the film, why you did it, what did you want to do with it. Feel free to go into funny or let's say frustrating things that happened during the shooting. And I would like you to be brave and speak freely because it's this is a very chill and friendly meeting. So yeah, who wants to start?
I can start.
Okay, hello.
Hello. My name is Maria Stonytė. I'm a film director from Lithuania. And I'm really happy to have my film One Life here in the festival. So to answer your question, how it all started with a sight that I witnessed. And it was actually several years before I even started to create my film. So I was just walking in a big supermarket here in Lithuania, and in one of the aisles, I saw these big aquariums, and in them, I saw live tropical butterflies that were for sale. And I was so disturbed by this sight, and they were selling them for entertainment, birthdays, concerts, other events. And what is more, the butterflies were on sale because as their lifetime got shorter, their price was reduced. So I was deeply disturbed by this sight, and it was only one time that I saw this kind of selling. But this image stayed with me for several years until I finally decided to make a film. So I did some research, and I found out that there are these people who live in the city and grow butterflies just in their homes and sell them for these kind of events. So that was the starting point. And how I ended the film, I would say the film kind of ends with the end of the butterfly, and I feel like this feeling that I got a long time ago, it translated right till the end of the film, and now you got to see it on the screen. So I was glad that as a person, as a director, I got to kind of answer this this question, share this story of a life of a butterfly with you and with the audience.
You are actually making it sound pretty easy, and I have many doubts that filming all the butterflies and actually doing this documentary was easy. How did it actually work for you as a shooting? How many hours did you have? how did you manage to convince the people to let you in this butterfly trade that honestly I never heard about? When I first saw your film, I was thinking, yeah, this is some sort of fantasy, most probably. And I never heard about people selling butterflies. So tell us how you actually shot it, because there's an enormous amount of work there. I can bet on that.
So, so I guess one of the challenges was to convince the people that are involved to be a part of the film and let us film. And in this case, I truly chose to be very transparent. And I came to this lady and I said, you are not the intended character of this film. I want to truly follow a life of a butterfly, and the butterfly will be the character. I will not get into any personal details with her. I won't expose the organizers of the concert as well, because I really wanted to focus on this one life of this fragile creature. So maybe because I was so direct and really knew that what I am going to follow and film, she believed me and she said yes. So, and as promised, I didn't delve into her life at all. So that was that. And when it comes to shooting the butterflies, actually there were 2 of these concerts. We were planning to only come to the second one, but to the first one, I came alone, without my cinematographer, without the maybe take some images and just to see how it will go. But when I came to the concert, I actually realized I started to shoot everything, and I captured a lot of important parts that are now in the film. But most importantly, something special, something happened that I felt that was kind of this documentary miracle that I couldn't let go of. And that was, I met this boy in the audience that was different from everyone else because he cared about the butterflies. And surprisingly, one butterfly decided to land on the boy's chest and stay there throughout the whole rest of the concert. And when I captured that scene, I knew that this is, in a way, and this is what we did. We came to the second concert, we shot a bit more, but I guess the heart of the film was captured all by my.
The connection is not stable, or it's me?
The connection is not stable. It happens sometimes.
Even with me.
I don't hear anything.
Okay, let's just go on, and we'll go back to Maria in the end.
Okay.
It's I think it's better for everybody. Andrew. Hello.
Hello. I'm not a film director, but I'm okay.
Are you gonna have a special introduction for any of the films we saw this evening?
A special introduction, I don't know. Of course I've watched all of them. I liked all of them. Maybe because Sharif is next to me in the Zoom meeting now, so I may say a few words about his film. I know Sharif from many years before. We are friends, not just a programmer and filmmaker. And I was lucky to have his film in the competition of short films in Cairo International Film Festival. And I liked this connection he made between the fiction and documentary in his film, which I think he's going to talk about more in his words later. And now I see that when we program this program, I feel something like this also in the other films, especially in Maria's film, because it has something like related between the. I can't say it's an entire documentary, because some of the parts of the film felt for me that it was fiction, and or at least scripted, even it was not intended to be like this, but I felt somehow like this. So I feel there is a good connection between the films.
Do they sell butterflies in Egypt for entertainment purposes?
Not as I know. This was first time for me to see something like
Yeah,
this.
that's why we consider it to be on the fiction side, because the very idea is unusual.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sharif, can we go to you, because you had a very nice introduction. So hello.
Hello everyone. I'm Sharif El-Bendai. I'm an Egyptian filmmaker. I've worked as a director now for like 15, 16 years. Sunday at 5 is my fifth short film. Backing to your question about how the idea came to me, I wrote a very, very early first draft from the script, like 2010, something like that. It's the kind of ideas that you wrote it and leave it aside, then you back to it again later on when you find something attracting you at the moment to make the film the way you like. So the first idea that there's a director making a casting for a new fresh actress, 30 years old actress. And there is the idea of use and abuse from both sides to each other. So usually I can say that the motivation, or maybe the theme, the words that motivating and moving me making the film is using, how the people could use each other. And that's how I work on the script. The second thing, when I exactly decided to make it now in 2019, when I make it, that I find the idea of making it real. What about making a real casting? So I can make a casting call, and I have some submissions to come, then bring the director, Khairi Bshara, who made the casting audition, and let's make this casting scene is a real casting scene without the actresses know that. And I shoot it with like 5 cameras, and I edit it later, and I never interact with actors in the middle of the shooting. They never even met me. So they was coming to casting, and I shoot everything, and I shoot like 15 girls. Then I in the editing room for like 2 months to choose that Hadil is the one who will continue the rest of the film. So this is the way that when I get the idea of making the film this way, I started immediately to make it.
Well, it's interesting because you focused on the using, because the actress feels used and she's using this experience to, I don't know if it's healing or getting back at the guy. But it's very interesting because this leads a bit outside what the movie seems to promise us at the start, because at the start it's like some sort of docufiction about casting and stuff, but in the end what you actually are left to think about, it's more than just the casting or more than just their situation. Now this is very interesting because you actually did a mockumentary. Am I right to say this, technically speaking?
Actually, okay. I didn't. Okay, the idea of making the film starts when I just want to go out of my comfort zone. So going out of my comfort zone as a director after making my first feature film and after making my first TV series. So I want to try myself as a director in some in-between medias. I didn't really get my mind busy with labeling or naming the technique is. I just want to make it that way. I don't mind exactly what you name it, whatever you want. I will agree. I don't mind.
It's not about a certain label, but it's interesting because, as Andrew also said, most of your short films selected in this festival play or deal with the idea of reality, with the fracture between documentary and fiction. And it's so strange because sometimes when you first see them, you don't get a certain feeling. This is certainly a fiction, or this is certainly a documentary, which is, I'd say, interesting. It's stimulating on a certain level. Tell us about, I mean, you actually have some previous experience to this. What's the hardest thing for somebody who is used and knows how to work in a long format, in a short format? Because the short film is a terrain for debate. Some people say it has some certain rules, some other consider it very easy, but we all know it's not easy to do a short film. What's the difference in between doing a long feature or working on a TV series and doing this short film?
This is an interesting question. I'll answer it, but let me first highlight something concerning the questioning between what's real and what's fake in the film, because it's also related with what I will talk about concerning your question. Actually, it was my goal all the time, especially in the editing room, that keep the question for the audience all the time raised between: is it real? Is it fake? Is it staged? Is it genuine? Is it fiction? Is it keeping the question while watching the film is very important for me to still engaging for the audience, which is very important for me as a director to keep the audience engaged. So because in this film, I think that keeping the question for the audience will really important to keep engaged with the film till the end, and having more questions in the film. That's exactly what I feel that cinema about more questions. So if you keep questioning as an audience with the film even after it's finished, so I think it's really important to have the audience your side as a filmmaker. Concerning your question, as I just said, that in feature film, in short film, it's totally okay. The same way of telling the story, the same idea of keeping questioning with the audience all the time. It's very important. At the end, you are telling a story. Of course, telling it in a short way is much difficult, because you have to be much more distinguished, much more simplified, economic in the storytelling. So this affected the narrative of the short film, in my opinion, that you have to deal with the much smarter audience telling the story and representing and the characters and introducing the character story. So it's not about that like the feature film. It's much more for, in my opinion, for that's what I like about short films. It's much more for the smarter audience, which I like to tell the story to.
Okay, thank you. Maria, are you back with a good connection?
I hope so.
Okay, nice to have you back. So basically, you were telling us about going to the first concert and actually shooting it without the clear purpose to use it, the material.
Yeah.
And about the boy and the butterfly. That's a very nice story. So do we go on from here? I mean, this is so strange to use butterflies for this. You know, in many countries, white pigeons are used for weddings.
Yeah.
It's the only similarity I can find to this use of butterflies. Does it have a, I don't know, a special significance in your country, or is it just this kind of showing off? Because that's what it is, basically.
Yeah. Well, I do agree that it is kind of absurd. And actually, this resemblance to the doves is very accurate, because I learned that these butterflies are also sold for weddings, and I heard some crazy stories of women giving butterfly as a present to her husband on Valentine's Day, and many many crazy things.
There's something very local
Yeah,
and very big. Wow.
but
Okay.
what I really think is that now in these times we can travel more and see more, and people are looking for the next attractive crazy thing, and these butterflies, they normally are not they cannot live in our climate. They are tropical, and I think it's even more absurd that people are now not satisfied enough with doves. They now have another fancy thing, to buy a tropical butterfly. So I think it's
expensive. Are
um,
they expensive?
they're not. I think it's like €5 for a butterfly, and it lives. It would live for a week or two. Actually, I managed to save one of the butterflies, and it lived in my house for a good week.
What did you feed it?
They truly love oranges, bananas. You can even see it in the film, in the very close-up shot. The butterfly is eating a banana and a bit of water. Yeah.
Okay. You froze again.
Oh no.
So let's go next. Kiedis, our Greek friend. Are you there?
I'm there.
Okay. And speak louder, because you're remote from the microphone. Tell us the story of this surrealist dramedy. How did you write the script? How do you actually manage to do it?
Well, I basically wanted to make a very cheesy film. That was what I wanted to do.
Okay.
I had written a first draft. I finished the first draft in Romania in 2019. I was there for a commercial in Ploiesti.
Okay.
I finished the first draft there. Actually, I had done a few other short films before that, which were mostly on my own and mostly unprofessional. So I wanted to do something which was more professional, but also very entertaining, something that would be fun to watch and fun to make. And I grew up watching a lot of cartoons on Cartoon Network, and I want to make something that I would like to watch. I would like to have watched as a kid, probably. Maybe because I'm still a kid. Who knows?
But how did you shoot it? Because you have somebody who's in this big mouse suit for quite a while. Wasn't it very hard for that guy?
He's actually a dancer. He's also a teacher. He teaches dancing. He has a dancing academy in Greece. At least he didn't have to talk, so we didn't have to do a lot of rehearsals for that. The difficult thing was that we were shooting on film, 16 millimeter, and we had done a couple of rehearsals, but we didn't have a lot of film to lose during shooting. And it was actually pretty hot under the suit, even though the film was shot in mid-February, but in Greece it's pretty hot in mid-February. These were mostly I think that was probably the most difficult thing, but we were all having a lot of fun with it, so it rolled along pretty nicely.
It's actually surprising to see young people still attached to film as a medium for shooting, because it's difficult, it's expensive. The number of post-processing labs, I think, is going down and they're becoming more expensive. It's a very bold choice. But do you sense it as a bit of a drama there? Because when I use tragic comedy, I was actually describing how I felt related to this, because it's fun, it's absurd, but there is some sort of soul there. There is something sad going on. Was it just me, or did you intend this? Did you get this reaction from other people?
Yes, I did. I think that comedy is tragedy. I think they are both the different faces of the same coin. And I don't think comedy works without tragedy. I mean, in comedies, you end up laughing with other people's misfortunes. So it's definitely kind of tragic. Other people have told me that, but what I wanted to finish off the film with something bittersweet, because these are the kind of films I deeply love, like Chaplin's films, City Lights, especially. And even though the main character goes through all these misfortunes, the ending is unavoidable, but kind of bittersweet. It doesn't destroy the character completely, but he finds a bit of hope. He loses everything, but finds a bit of hope.
Okay, this is very nicely put. I will say thank you for now. Stay with us, because in the end, I want to ask all of you guys, what's your next project? Because you are so different in your films, and I don't know what to expect from any of you as their next project. But now let's see who's there, and I did not dare to talk yet. Hello.
Unfortunately, it should have been Karabo from What Did You Dream, but I think it's a problem with connection, because actually she confirmed that she will be here. So unfortunately, we cannot hear her voice, but maybe we can hear Dian if he wants, because he's our delegate for South Africa, and maybe he can at least say just some words, not of course, we don't have a director's voice, but it's something. Thank you.
Hello. Yeah, so What Did You Dream was really a beautiful film for me. When I see a short film, I sort of just look at the runtime, and if it's longer than 15 minutes, I'm like always a little bit scared, because sometimes it drags and stuff. And I saw her short film, I thought, okay, like it was quite long, and then I started watching it, and she just drew me in. It was so sensitively done, really from a child's point of view. And I just really thought like it was she captured a little bit of magic. And I know it's a silly word to use with cinema sometimes, where it's magical, but there was something very honest and very truthful in it. And especially because I know to make short films in South Africa, it's quite tricky. Like, to get funding is difficult, and we don't really have a short film culture the way that European countries have. So I really just thought like she did a stunning job, because we usually, when we make short films, we are sort of trying to go up against a lot of hurdles to make a short film. So I was really, I thought it was a stunning short film, and I'm very glad that they sent it to us and that they let us show it, because I thought it was really, really good.
It is a very nice and very well done. It's a short film with a very, very much attention to detail. And I was thinking about the production at a certain point while seeing it. Is this the medium for short films in South Africa, or is it one of the, let's say, very top? Because if this is the medium, they are very good, all of them.
I think maybe in terms of the technicalities, yes, I think like we will, like our short films do look like that, but I think just in terms of script writing, our scripts aren't always as good. So when a short film sort of fumbles, it's usually in the writing, I think. And that's why I think she really, like, she did a great job both technically and in her writing, because especially that it's, because yeah, if you think of a short film that takes place like 20, 25, 30 years ago, you like already think, oh wow, like, oh, will they be able to pull it off? Because there's obviously a lot of money and you have to change so many things so that it suits 30 years ago. And especially in our country, because it's such a different time, I just think she did it in a very sensitive and very subtle way. You know, she didn't go for big political or large statements or anything. She just told a very simple story about, I think, something that everybody would recognize that lived through that era. Yeah.
Yeah, because also it's 30 years ago, but the design is difficult to get right, no matter where you are, to fix something to the 80s or 90s. That's very nice. Thank you. And now I think we should go to our directors and find out what's their next project, because I'm very curious. Guys, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, we're listening.
I think ladies first, no?
Okay.
Okay.
So my next project is called My Bollywood Dream. And it's a feature-length documentary following a Lithuanian girl who is a dancer and dreams of becoming a Bollywood film star. So she's traveling to India, to Mumbai, and pursuing a dancer's role in the film.
Wow. And this is a documentary.
Yes.
This girl really exists.
Yes.
And you are gonna go with her to India?
Yes.
Or did you already shoot it?
Well, we are now in late development stage, and we had already one trip to India with her. Yeah, but the big journey is still ahead.
Wow, good luck with that, because it sounds wonderful. I mean, wow. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah, we are.
I'll be looking forward to it, but I don't know if you can travel too much this year. So
yeah, we need to be patient.
But I will remember that this documentary is in production, because it's a wow subject. Okay, thanks very much.
Just to know, it will be a feature or a short also? Feature film?
Feature length, yeah.
So it will be your first feature?
No, second.
The second, okay. And in terms of funding, how did you plan? Because it's quite a daring project.
So we got European EDF funding already, and Lithuanian Film Center support, and also we have a co-producer in India, Balakrishna Tevar. He's a good friend of mine because I used to work in Bollywood in Mumbai, so I have some connections there, and it's easier to get in a way.
Wow.
Looking forward to see it.
I will let you know when it's done.
Please do, because it's the very idea is a sell point. It's extraordinary.
I'm glad to hear it.
Okay, next. Sharif?
Yeah.
What you're gonna do now? You already tried 3 different formats. What's next for you?
Actually, at the moment, I'm in Saudi Arabia. I'm not in Egypt, and I'm in the pre-production for an 8 episodes TV show for a platform, Middle East platform called Shahid, and I'm supposed to shoot in 2 weeks, but I'm preparing for another short film, hopefully to shoot soon. I think by July, August they can shoot. So that's my next project.
Okay. So you have a very good work rhythm, I notice.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, good luck with that.
Thank you.
And can we go to who's here? Miltiades, are you there? Are you with us?
Still here and alive. Yeah.
Okay, and you have a question coming up from
Yeah.
YouTube. Did you
Yeah,
see it?
it's from YouTube.
Yeah, that's what I saw in the chat. So basically,
Oh, okay.
how
Well,
would you imagine a social or political system and society where a mouse, like in your film, could live a fulfilling life? It's a very nice question. Good luck with answering it.
well, I think it's a pretty straight answer. I think mice can't live in an ideal economic political system because they don't have logic. So you can't have a system without logic. So that's it. And also, it would be very difficult because they're constantly obsessed with cheese. So probably they would have cheese as currency. Mm. Yeah.
Okay, cheese money.
So no
Yeah.
logic, just cheese. Yeah, that's a good answer.
Yeah, well, yeah, that could work because, you know, most of us also
My
like
next
cheese.
project as well. Yeah, that could be my
A little question, can I ask something about your character, Mr. Armaus? So he doesn't have logic, but he has emotions, or what's the idea behind it?
You caught me now.
It was not my intention, I was just wondering.
Well, it's just, I guess it's just a film, and he's kind of like a mouse man because he's more of a man than his parents are. He's more human. But I guess if we wanted to make our mouse fit in with the system, I'd guess he would probably have to start washing himself with shampoo instead of cheese first and shave a little. But I guess, yeah, he has emotions. Yeah, in the film at least, he has emotions. And I guess he also has some logic, but it doesn't pay off much for him.
Okay.
And for my next project, you wanted to...
Yes, tell us about your next project.
I've written a short horror film, which we're going to submit for funding next week. And hopefully, if we get the money, we're going to shoot it in October. Otherwise, if we don't get the funding, we're going to shoot it in October.
Yeah, that's the spirit. Unfortunately, you can't always wait for the state finances to kick in.
It's basically a story about the last survivors in a school where they have to hide from a monster that traces you whenever you breathe. That's kind of like the concept of the film.
Okay, so what can they do if this is the concept?
They have to find places where it's possible to breathe without being located.
Okay. So it's
which are kind of random, and they have to find them out. If they don't, they will be killed.
Yeah, that can be a good idea for a series of books, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, they should fit this easily in a short film. So, Mirona, do you have anything to add to question? Oh, there's another question here. It's also for Miltiades. I have one question. Should we expect a feature film?
Based on the mouse story?
No, it just says, should we expect a second a feature film on the same note? And I guess the note is not exactly the story. It's the tone of it and this blend of surrealism and drama and strange things.
No, not at the moment, because I'm actually planning on doing that horror film as a feature after that. I mean, the reason I'm doing it
Okay.
is as a proof of concept for the feature version in 2 years, probably.
Sharif, we have a question for you.
Yes.
Are you going to do another short film? Did you like it? Did you find it fulfilling?
Yes, I love doing short films.
Yeah?
Yes,
Okay.
I make short films for fun, even if I produce it myself. Sometimes I look for funding. If I didn't find, as Miltiades said, I'm doing the film anyway. So I'm working on a new short film titled Sarah Better Than Earth. This is the title, and it's a co-production between me and the French producer Martin Jérôme. It's a co-production between Egypt and France. That's it.
Okay. Well, this was actually very surprising, honestly. I mean, you find out so many things just doing a Q&A. They sell butterflies for special events in Lithuania. You just decided to do a short film after having some very, very much previous experience in other formats. There is a horror Greek film coming on in October, no matter what. And that South Africa has a very, very nice standard for production design, and you know, I will call it historical reconstruction, because things were different back then. And guys, I want to thank you all for this. I hope it was pleasurable. For me, it was very surprising and nice. And good luck with your next projects.
Okay, what I would like to say is that if somebody missed the films, they can be seen tomorrow at 4 o'clock on Festival Scope. So you have the chance to see them there, the first collection of shorts. And you can vote your favorite film after, hopefully you see all the films in the competition, so you can vote really your favorite one. Thank you so much for this and for participation, and I wish you good luck. And I hope your films will be also screened in cinemas, because it's something else, it's something more. But this thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.